Welcome to One Topic, or Potato Sandwich. My name is Greg Russ. That is Autumn Fisher.
Hello?
Hello, you're quiet.
Am I? Do I need to do anything? I can turn up my gain.
Yeah, turn that fucking gain up.
All right. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Gosh, I barely touched it. This thing is so sensitive. It's weird.
I spilled coffee on the wall, so I had to clean that up.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Can I describe how I spilled coffee on the wall? Well, I was upstairs and I made the coffee. My laptop was upstairs, my phone was upstairs, and my headphones were upstairs. So I decided to bring it all downstairs at once. And, I put the headphones around my neck. I put my phone on top of my laptop. I held that in front of me flat, and I held the coffee in the other hand. And as I was going down the stairs, I was holding the laptop out in front of me, and it hit the door frame that goes around the bottom of the stairs, which sent a shock through my whole body, a jolt, which traveled from the arm with the computer in it to the arm with the coffee in it. And that arm, shook, and the coffee spilled onto the stairs and onto the wall. So
that sucks.
I had to clean that up. Mm-hmm. And then when I cleaned it up with the towel, you realize how filthy the floor is. Like all this hair and all these debris. Like I can't even see that with the naked eye. But I
know that is really weird. I hate that.
I have to say,
I've been down. I vacuum frequently, but I have been down on the floor, like cleaning something or grabbing little bits of something that baby was like eating, and yeah. If you haven't vacuumed or if you haven't, it's hair, lots of hair.
Yes.
It's like it's growing not up, but like a protected shield over some parts.
It does feel like the amount of hair that people shed, they should be bald. Everyone should be bald.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking one shower, the amount of hair that goes into the drain. I have one of those drains that has the holes in it. So
okay.
It's hard for the hair to wash down and it gets caught.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the fuck? Every time I shower, that comes off of me? How am I not bald?
I take mine, I wash it and then I put conditioner on it and then I run my fingers through it and pull all the hair out. And I put on my wall. So it doesn't go down the drain. I know some of it does, obviously, but
that's for the best because it will clog at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It always clogs. It's a problem I have with my sink in the bathroom. I don't know. It's a narrow pipe, I guess. Oh, in Greece, you couldn't flush toilet paper because the pipes were too narrow. So you're supposed to wipe your ass and put it in a bin next to the to the toilet.
Like in Mexico.
Yeah, I know there's plenty of places, but this is one of the first times I
flushed mine in Greece. No one told us not to.
I still flushed some of it. I was like, I can't put the worst wipe.
Oh my God, no.
In the bin. For many reasons. I don't want it to be there. I think about sleeping and how
it's just sitting there.
Yeah, it's just sitting close by. Christina's in the room. The person has to clean it up. But I guess they only have 2-inch drainage pipes instead of 4. Standard here is 4, so you can flush those giant shits and the toilet paper down with it.
It's gross.
Just get Scott's. Why use Scott's? That disintegrates as soon as it touches water. Like I said, I still flushed.
Did they have bidets?
No.
No. Okay.
Though I'm a fan of the washlet bidet, the fancy one where you don't have to get up. I've made no secret about that. I've waxed poetic about it. But a regular bidet, I don't know. A regular bidet, you get up, you walk over to the other one, you kind of you straddle it and squat and spread.
I had to look this up too. You just sit on the rim, which is weird in itself. And then you guys have a family or whatever. If they're using a bidet, they have a designated washcloth, and you spray it all off, everything off, and then you just use the washcloth, and you're just that's just the very last step.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it is weird. And people they don't have a washcloth and they just use their hands because you're already clean.
I don't care.
Because people will use like I don't. It's not like they don't use any toilet paper. They'll use some toilet paper, like maybe for pee or something, and then you like clean the rest of yourself off with the bidet, and then it's just like you're in the shower and you're like touching your butt. It's the same thing. No.
That
No.
part's never clean. You could bleach it. It's never going to be clean.
It's not true.
I mean, I know realistically your hands are filthier at any given, well, not any given moment. There are certain moments when that is dirtier, but your hands, for the most part, percentage wise, in terms of, the amount of time they are the dirtiest part of your body, I'd say that they win. But I don't know, the bidet where the pieces fall out on, I don't know.
Pieces. What are you talking about?
I don't know. What if you have a particularly,
like a weird to do?
Yeah, and then you're sitting on it and just washing right there, and then everyone shares the same rag.
Well, and I did know that there is a way to go that lends itself better to not use toilet paper. You're like not supposed to squeeze. You're supposed to just like let it happen. And then it doesn't, like it just comes out and it doesn't leave anything behind. It doesn't leave as much whatever behind.
The problem with this, I've heard this before. The problem is when you're on the toilet and you're thinking about it, your body involuntarily squeezes. You
got to practice.
It's almost impossible to resist.
Yeah, you really do have to practice.
It's
My
like
friend did it.
When somebody tells you that you're blinking constantly and you become aware of blinking, and then you can only blink voluntarily for a bit until you forget again.
Yeah, that is weird when that happens.
So it's the same principle. Because I've thought about that. It's like, all right, don't squeeze this off. It's like, can't help it.
Can't. It's hard.
Whatever the force is in the universe, it's compelling me to pinch this.
You gotta practice.
Look, in theory, I am all for washing. I don't think paper alone. We wash everything else. In our minds, something's not clean really unless we wash it. Mm-hmm. If you just wiped your hands with some dry paper, you'd say my hands aren't clean. So I get it. The way the actual bidet functions, I'm not into that though. It's wide open. What if you drop something in it? What if you're maybe this is a good reason not to bring your phone into the bathroom, but what if you drop your phone into the wide open bidet and you know that everyone in the house uses it and the water just falls right down back onto the faucet? And then even cleaning, that's why the washlet, self-cleaning arm comes out.
Wait, you still flush the bidet, don't you? And those ones that are separate?
It drains, I thought. I don't know if it has a flushing mechanism. I thought it was just more of a water fountain. That was my understanding.
I don't think so. Hold on. I'm looking it up. All right, I'm looking at Toto. Floor-mounted porcelain vertical bidet with 4-hole faucet drilling. Faucet not included. What? Why? Okay. I think it flushes. There's like another button. Oh, wait. There are some that are just like, it looks like a faucet.
Yeah, there was one apartment.
Oh, it's a drain. Oh, I see. You're right.
Just like a sink.
Okay, yes, it is just like a sink. Okay, my bad.
So I think that's what grosses me out. Think about using your regular sink and washing your ass in it, and then that water falls into that sink, and then that sink's just there. It's like, oh.
I think it just is different, and we're not used to it. It seems okay to me.
I'm open-minded about it.
I know you are, but I'm just saying.
And if I had one, maybe I'd try to learn to use it. There was one apartment that we looked at years ago. That one didn't have a bidet, but another one in the building had a bidet. I was like, oh, interesting. If I had that, would I use it? I probably would try it. And then depending on the ease, but still the cleaning aspect of it, I would have to clean it every single time. When I use a plunger, it just disgusts me. And I get the bottle of spray bleach and I spray the plunger.
I'm grossed out by the brush that I'm using to clean the toilet.
Yeah.
It just sits there afterward, and I know that there's like water left over, and then that water gets weird, and then I could just buy another one. I'm sure they're like $8.
I think they're cheaper than that,
$4.
depending.
7
They
cents.
don't ever buy the silicone one.
Oh yeah.
They don't clean as well. They're more
No, that makes
expensive.
sense.
You think, oh, this will be, but you need that bristle. There was one time, years ago, when I was dating Molly. She was trying to make caramel, and it burned,
Yeah.
and we didn't know what to do with it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, just pour it in the toilet. I was like, that was a dumb idea because
Yeah, it
still
just solidifies, right?
Yes.
It turns into like from lava into water.
yeah, so it solidified down there where everything rests in the toilet, and
oh no.
we couldn't get it out. Oh, this is still disgusting. She ended up
Pretty
sticking
gross.
her hand in there
Yeah.
and pulling it out.
You have to.
No,
There's no other way. What do you do otherwise?
I think that was the
Gross.
downfall of our relationship. I could never touch her hand again.
Yeah.
Every time I
that was it.
touched her hand, I thought about that. I wish I hadn't seen it, at least, if it was something that she had just told me about. But I was like, I saw that hand go right into the toilet. Over time, it's sugar. Over time, you just flush it a lot, and it would eventually wash away, right?
I guess you could turn the water off and drain it and then pour hot water over it for a long time. Then it would melt it.
Oh, yeah, but then that could crack the porcelain. Well, hot water wouldn't. I was thinking boiling water.
Oh.
Hot water would be fine. I hope her
Gross.
hand, hope her hand is fine. There are people in her life who don't know where that hand has been. And if she only told them.
You should send her anonymous letters, like with cutouts of a magazine, the letters. And then just send it to whoever she's with and say, like, ask her about the caramel.
She has kids now. I should send letters to her. Ask your mom.
Ask your mom what happened. Ask your mom about a toilet and caramel. Mommy.
I know what your mom did one summer night. And if that was the whole plot of that movie. I know what you did last summer. It wasn't murder.
It was just this gross thing that I know about.
It was what's her name? The big movie star at the time who disappeared. Who was in that movie?
The one who plays like Sydney, who was in The Craft.
What was her name?
And she was in.
She was huge. She was in every movie.
Yeah, what was that? What's her name? Liv?
It's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, I was thinking of Scream.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Did she get married to someone?
This
that
was
would be
the
like
time.
In Teen Beat or something.
Yeah, see, the problem with that movie was you had two stars who had three names: Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt. And so I was getting confused, and I kept thinking of Sarah Michelle, but Jennifer Love. She got married probably, and the husband said, "I don't like you acting." And quit.
What? Let's see. I didn't know that they were both in that movie. I guess.
Yeah, that was a special time.
I never got into those movies.
Nah, nor did I.
I know what you did last summer.
Wasn't it a guy with a raincoat and an ice pick?
Yeah, it was the ice pick one.
You're just supposed to shut up. My God.
I don't think Sarah Michelle Gellar was in this.
Nah, she was in
It's
it.
only Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Nah, she was in it.
I'm looking at the. Oh wait, this is 2025. The fuck?
I still know what you did. I
remember last summer you did something. Oh yeah, you're right. She was in it.
I think she was killed. So she wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, who did Jennifer Love Hewitt get married to? Who you married to, Ho?
Who told you to stop acting indirectly by getting you pregnant and saying, but the kids need a mom?
Oh, no, it's nobody. What?
Yeah, nobody. Look at this. Brian Hallisey.
That's the... Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Who the fuck are you? Not even a picture on his Wikipedia.
Oh, he looks real lame.
He's known for his role as Will Davis in the CW drama Privileged.
He was
And
in Hostel.
and as Kyle Parks in the Lifetime drama, The Client List.
He was in Suits.
This guy was in Suits. No, this guy was not in Suits. How dare you?
Yes.
No. This
What's
guy's
his name
not.
again?
Brian Hallisey.
Hallisey.
This guy was not in
Hallisey.
Suits.
Brian Hallisey.
Besmirch that great series.
Yeah, you love it.
No, but it was a good thing just to put on. Now I've started watching House in the background. I never watched House previously. Not a fan of House, huh?
Oh, Craig Cameron. Do you know who that is? From
No.
Suits?
No, but I don't know people's real names.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, Oh, you don't know their names in the show?
Craig Cameron, horse trainer. I don't. Who the fuck is Craig Cameron?
He was in Suits.
Who? Was that the guy's real name?
No, Billy Hallisey was Craig Cameron.
No, this is Brian.
I know.
Brian Hallisey.
Brian Hallisey
Not Billy.
played Craig Cameron in the show Suits.
Oh. Well, it was a small part then. It wasn't anything big.
Craig Cameron.
It wasn't rememberable.
Suits.
Rememberable.
Okay, he's a corporate attorney at Bratton Gould who is positioned to become the attorney of Masterson Construction. However, managing partner Thomas Bratton gave Masterson to Alex Williams. Bratton informing Alex he wouldn't give it to Craig even if Alex refused.
Who cares? He's just some forgettable character who pops up and probably acts like a little brat. I'm in this position of power and I'm owed this and you need to get it for me. And then he doesn't get his way. And
oh, it was his only appearance. Okay. Greg
See?
Cameron is a corporate attorney at Bratton Gould who made his sole appearance in the show, like in the episode Cairo.
Yeah, and
There you go.
Harvey probably put him in his place and said, "Get the fuck out of here, you nothing." And he left with his tail between his legs, and that was
This is the only time that JLH called some people and was like, "Get my dude apart."
Look, I'm glad that the marriage has lasted with Jennifer. He was
Sure.
an actor. Sure, he was an actor, but it wasn't a big name. Like, she was at a point where she could have commanded any big name A-lister that she wanted. But instead, she found someone she liked, and she didn't care about that. I'm sure she had a lot of people around her. It's like, you can't do this. He's not big enough of a name. He's not going to help your career. I always like the actors who get married to nobodies. Someone like me.
Yeah, that is
like
nice.
Some famous person married me. Would I be okay with it? No, that's a different question. Would I seethe with jealousy? When you go on the red carpet and everyone's taking the pictures, which I would hate anyway. I wouldn't want to do that. But there'd be the side of me that hated the idea of it. That's the default setting. But when I was on the red carpet and then the photographer said, "Get this chump out of the way. We want pictures of you alone." Then I would be angry.
Like Samantha when she was with what's the model?
Yeah, the absolute hunk.
What was his name?
He had a dumb name.
Yeah, it was like Harold or something, and she was like,
Fred.
"Oh no!"
It was like Fred Freddyson or something.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Oh my god! Hold on, it's coming to me. It's Do you know it?
I know it now because I looked it up.
Shoot. It's
He's got his real name and then the name she gives him.
yeah.
Well, I think it's his middle name or something, but because his name is Jerry Jared
Shoot, what is it?
Smith.
Smith. God, that's so stupid and normal. Why didn't I?
No, that's not a normal first name. That's very cool. That's a last name.
It is a cool first name.
Smith.
Smith.
Smith Jared. That guy never really acted in anything else.
Well, he was very handsome for I think a window of time, and then the things that made him handsome young got weird as he got older. He looks like ragged to me.
I take this. He did things. He just never was prominent again.
Mm.
And then he did Dancing with the Stars. That's when you knew it was over. That actually was the last thing he ever did in 2022.
How did he do?
A contestant in Season 31 of that fucking show.
I watched that show for a hot second.
I don't know. 31 seasons. They've got these charts, these tables looking at this page about the winners and the score. I can't decipher this. This is very complex. Too complex for a live to tape radio show. I mean, podcast recording show, not radio show.
Okay.
It's not radio. There's nothing radio about this.
No.
So I'm sorry for bringing that up. Poor Smith.
All right. Well, tell me about Greece.
I mean, what would you like to know?
Tell me all about it.
My world travels.
Yeah.
You go to these places, and it's they're clearly very used to English speaking people there.
Oh yeah.
And we already went into the whole linguistic imperialism bullshit last time.
Well, first you went to Athens, right?
No, we just landed in Athens.
Right. And then how long were you there?
A couple hours.
Oh, so you didn't leave the airport?
No.
Oh, bummer. Okay. And then you went straight to Crete.
No.
Nope, to Santorini.
Correct. No Crete.
No Crete.
Very pretty place. I like walking the paths that wind through all the buildings that seemingly are haphazardly propped up on the cliffside.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel like a little mouse because these paths just snake through. You never really know where you're going to go, and you walk through like little tunnels and over things, and it's like, hey, it's a hamster cage. This is kind of fun. I do fully expect that whole place to fall into the sea one day, though.
Yeah.
There's a very flat part of the island. What everyone sees is the
cliffs and things.
Yeah. Then there's another side. On the other side of those cliffs, it's just a lot of flatness. But it's not a big place overall. We rented a car one day and drove the whole island in a matter of a few hours. In our little smart car, 2-seater. Convertible. This is the way the guy, I've got the perfect car for you. Small, because the roads here are small. Convertible. I was like, oh, what's this going to be? This sounds pretty cool. Smart car. I was like, what the fuck? Automatic. And then I got defensive and I said, I can drive a stick shift, I'm not like the rest of these idiots. I can drive a stick shift. You got a stick shift? Give me a stick shift.
He was like, okay, calm down.
George didn't care. That's what he went by. I wonder what his real name was. George.
Yeah.
Gregorio. No, that'd be me. Giorgio.
Yeah.
Georgi. Oh. What would it be?
Greek. Let's see.
Smith.
Yorios.
All right. Well, Yorios. Hey, this guy, his reputation preceded him, and he knew it because I was looking for the car rental places online, and all the reviews were, this place sucks. I would never go here again.
Oh.
And then you find the one that's really good. And it's like, George is amazing. George is wonderful. George was so helpful. George was so friendly. And when I went in, he's like, you see the reviews online?
He got his family to make them.
Well, there were a lot of them. And after dealing with this guy, it's like, okay, look, there's a reason those reviews exist, especially if the other places stink so bad that there's a natural contrast. You're like, you've got George and you've got the rest. Just the fact that he knows. You saw it online, right? It's like, yes. But that holds him to a standard. He doesn't want to let people down. Though I do still wonder if he overcharged. I was looking online and, they give you the insurance rates. And I don't know how it works in a different country. And I have my own car insurance. But it's like, whatever. I'll buy your insurance. And then, it's priced one thing online. And then you get there. It's like, we've got two options. Here's the cheaper one. Here's the more expensive one. And then you can't really decipher what the difference is, but you get worried because I thought, well, what if I do something to the car by accident? I don't want to deal with that. So I paid him the $55. 55 euros, excuse me.
Oh, okay. And what was the other insurance for? You couldn't figure it out what it was.
The other one was 35. He just gives a very basic rundown.
Yeah.
It's like, this will protect you some, this will protect you all. And it's like, I think part of me thinks you're just making this up.
Yeah, that's pretty smart though, actually.
Like, I'm sure if I
It's
read
like, and
something.
I'm nervous to try and decipher what it is because maybe your English isn't great, and so,
No, his
but
English
actually
is
it's like
pretty
a
good.
sales thing. He's
Yes.
like, this one good, this one better. You take better, okay.
No, his English was very refined because of linguistic imperialism. He didn't want to speak English, but they forced it on him. So I just went with that.
Yeah.
$55 one though. €55, excuse me. See,
Euro.
American centric. You fucking asshole. You think the world
God, what
revolves
a
around you in
dick.
America. That's why the world fucking hates you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, people do go out and they do act like that.
That's true.
I'm American. But I think the Chinese have supplanted Americans as the most annoying tourists.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
So thank you, China.
Yeah, thanks, China.
Thank you. The world has just opened up to them. They're expanding middle class. As theirs grows, ours dies. So they take our place and they travel the world. Apparently a lot of Asian people do go to Greece and the islands. But I encountered and watched some communication between the locals and the Asian people, and it doesn't go well. Even though, I don't know, I was reading about it. Apparently 80% of the weddings that happen there are with Asian people. They love it. But nobody's taken.
That's interesting. I don't feel like I saw Asian people when I was there. Not like I was paying attention, I guess, but I saw a lot of like British people.
Yeah, there were British
because
people.
It's so close comparatively. So people like go to Greece. It's really neat to be in Europe because you can go to so many different places so much more quickly and probably way cheaper than for us. Everything's like $1 billion,
you have to get on Ryanair.
Dollars. Yeah, Ryan. That's hilarious. That's a terrible name. I feel it's the same thing as that Josh Winery. It's like these degular names.
Well, there's these people who think there's something special. Like, my name is Ryan. I'm starting. I don't know if that's the story behind Ryanair. Who knows?
I'm Ryan. I got an airplane. Make it go fast. Whoa, it's cheap today. Whoa.
The last place I worked was it had a really dumb name at first. It was like Sanborn Media Factory.
Oh, right, yeah.
And everyone was like, what the fuck? And apparently the name was kind of a joke when they first started. And then it became Sanborn Agency. Point is, the dude who ran it, last name was Sanborn. I was like, what? You name it after yourself. It's so weird.
I know. It's so weird.
I wouldn't do it. A lot of people do, though.
Well, especially if your name is something like Sanborn. I mean, that's a little bit, that's fine-ish, I guess. But yeah, Josh, Ryan, Steve. It's like if I had a luxury brand water and my name was Steve and I call it like Steve water.
Here you go. It's named after the Ryan family. It's their last name. They founded it in 1984. Tony Ryan.
Tony Ryan.
An Irish businessman. That is the least Irish name.
There's no way that he's Irish.
Tony.
Tony Ryan. That's not an Irish person.
Here you go. Liam Lonergan. That was a co-founder. That's an Irish name.
There we go. That's the Irish. Okay.
Tony. Hey, Anthony Ryan.
My name's Antonio. Antonio Ryan.
Yeah, but all those countries, you can treat them like states in a way. Don't do that to them. Their cultures need to stay intact, and especially the French would get really angry if you said, the EU is just like a bunch of, the countries are like the states over here in America.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? But to an extent, I know it's not quite that simple, but to an extent, it's like that. Once you're in, and you can just drive and move freely amongst the countries without having to go through passport control every single time you cross a border. And, all the people that live there can live in whatever country they want to live in. If you're a part of the EU. And if you were British after they left the EU, fuck you. You're living abroad. Come home. Come back to the dreary island. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And I think the same for the people who are living there from other countries. I don't know. Maybe they worked out deals. I didn't spend too much time looking into Brexit.
I remember being in line to get on a flight, and I guess we were coming. When was that? It might have been getting home from maybe we were in England, I think, and Brexit was happening, or it wasn't finished yet, but it was like gonna happen, or maybe it was in talks. I don't remember, but the people in line in front of us, we ended up like striking up a little conversation with them, and they were talking about Brexit, and it felt I didn't know anything about it, but I felt worried because politics were starting to happen. Like people were talking, and I didn't know what side was good or bad. I had no idea. I mean, I understand what Brexit is, but I don't really understand what it means to people. So I was like, oh, yeah, man, Brexit. I don't know.
I think it was reactionary. I just think a lot of people, like the people who hate Obamacare, and then you tell them, you actually are utilizing it, the Affordable Care. What? I didn't know it was the same thing. I had no clue. People just hear these things and then they jump on board because that's what they're supposed to do, depending on how their political, philosophies align. Like, yeah, but I fuck Obama. I hate Obama. I hate Democrat. Fuck Obamacare. It's like you're hurting yourself. Now, sure, it was implemented half-assed because that's the best anyone could do because people resisted it. But why anyone's opposed to offering everyone health care, giving them a way to have affordable health? Oh, okay,
yeah,
sure. You can argue that's not done right, but then fix it, figure it out. But just
I feel the same way about the people that paid off their student loans and then are like, why did I have to pay it back? And you're going to, get it. Whatever, dude. Mind your own business. You paid. Great.
Yeah, it stinks. It's the way it goes.
It does stink, but yeah, get over it, child. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, with Brexit, I feel like it was, for whatever reason, just pushed. It's like, the EU is this terrible entity that wants to impose its ways on you, and it's holding you back. And you should be proud to be British. And too many people can come into our, and then people, because again, I'm not any sort of expert or even that well versed in it, but from what I remember after it happened, people are like, oh, I don't really like this. Why the fuck did you vote for it? I didn't really think about all this stuff. Like, it gets pretty complex. I know there were trade agreements and the fact that people could move freely about. There was a lot that had to be untangled. I also get it to an extent, I guess, with the EU. I don't know. England always kept their own money, though. Like, everyone else went to the euro. Every other country gave up their currency.
Yeah.
And then England, UK said, no, we're keeping the pound.
I kind of like that. Just because when you go somewhere, it feels cool to like deal with different money. And then the British pound has such like a legacy kind of feeling to me. It's like, oh, cool. Keep it. I get it. Keep it.
I also think the coins are the way to go. People never got on board with the dollar coin here for whatever fucking reason. Let's just carry around paper. I get that coins can be annoying and jangle in your pocket, but I don't know. Especially our coins feel cheap though, chintzy. That British pound.
Yeah, they're thicker.
It's just got a nice feel to it, a nice weight when you have two of them in your hand and you clank them together. It's like, ooh, this is quality stuff. They have all their bills.
Actually, sorry, real quick before you go to the bills, like the money though, I think is neat because we're not used to it. But to like carry around a pocket of heavy coins kind of sounds annoying after a while.
What was the thing with the Metro card when they introduced it here in New York for the subway? There's always the people who are going to resist new technology, but people used to carry around pockets full of tokens. Like, I got my subway tokens in my pocket.
That was Marta too. Marta was like that.
And so you change it to a card that you swipe. It's like, I don't have to do that anymore. So yes, I realize that carrying coins around isn't really, you don't even need fucking cash anymore. It was, I traded, exchanged zero money going to Greece. I just, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to, if we need to get some, I'll find an ATM and I'll pay you the fee that my bank charges me to take out some money.
It'll be like 3 fees, right? It's like that ATM, your bank's ATM fee, plus some exchange rate percentage.
Yeah, and they're going to give you a bad exchange rate anyway, and they're going to charge you for exchanging. But the flip side is you go to the airport And, let's say you have $100 and you say, I need to trade this to euros. And they'll say, okay, well, the exchange rate is this, but we don't give you that exchange rate. We give you a worse exchange rate. So here you go. Here's what we'll give you. And you lose like 5 to 10%. And then you don't spend it and you have to exchange it back. And then they do the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you start with $100 and you exchange it and you don't spend anything at the end, you have $80. Like, $20 just disappeared. And when you start taking out more money, obviously that's going to grow the amount of money that you lose because he takes out just 100. But these days you don't need to do anything.
You don't have to do that at all.
The only thing I couldn't buy was the poor lady trying to sell her fresh strawberries.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so like a very small vendor, you wouldn't be able to pay.
Yeah, I guess by law in Greece, they said everyone needs to take cards. Maybe that was a thing for a while.
Oh.
And it's just tapping. You just tap. Here's my phone. Where's your machine? Here you go. I'm going to tap. That's the end of it. I was going to say the British pounds, all the denominations are different sizes, apparently, so blind people can tell the difference between the bills. I guess you have to learn at that point and figure out, okay, what size is this? It seems like a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
But a £5 bill is different than, a 20.
I saw that Canadian money, like the cash, it's like it's a weird material that like you could wash, like you could leave it in your pockets and you could wash it and it wouldn't like disintegrate or degrade. It's like it's plasticky sort of.
Yeah, there was the £5 notes.
Uh-huh.
Last time I had any kind of actual cash in a foreign country, it was that same material. I was like, oh, it feels plastic. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's weird.
Money. It's outdated. Cash. Stupid.
It's weird though, because like it shouldn't be this way, but it feels like cash is almost free. It's like that's not real money anymore. Because when I have cash, I'm like, oh, I could spend this so easy. Like it's not being tracked in any way anymore. So it's like, oh, this money is already out the door, so I can just spend it on whatever I want.
Yeah, I had like $600 in my wallet, which is a decent amount of money.
That's a lot, yeah.
For whatever reason, I feel like in general everything has gotten skewed. But $600, I was like, I don't know, I just have some money in my pocket, and it didn't register as $600 for whatever
I know,
reason.
that's what I'm saying. It's weird.
I was like, well, what the fuck? I should do something with this. Like, put it in an ATM and throw it into the bag, not carry it around. Like, what if you get into an emergency? It's like, I don't know. You need cash still these days? Maybe if all the systems collapsed, it's good to have cash. Start hoarding.
But at that point, wouldn't it be like trading other things would be more important? It's like, who cares about money? I need rice.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Who cares about money? People just going to kill you anyway to get what they want.
Yeah.
That's what it all devolves into.
To murder.
It's so fragile. Everything is just propped up. We just hope that nothing causes it to collapse. It's not really a world I want to live in.
My mom was telling me something about food shortages because of tariffs.
I mean, I don't know if there's probably some items. Maybe avocados will be harder to get.
No, my God, not avocados.
Yeah, I wonder what the specifics were. Like in general, I don't think there's a concern about a food shortage,
She bought,
but
like,
certain things.
She bought like cans of some things and like water. I was like, really? Okay.
She's prepping.
She is.
The doomsday prepper. So we had the McDonald's in Greece the first night.
Oh, how was it?
The same. No. That's the fun thing to do. Like, hey, they have anything different here? Some weird specialty? It's like, no.
No.
Like in Japan,
really.
It's like, hey, we got the black bun burger. It's like, why is it black bun? And it's like sesame. It's like, okay.
Was it good?
The McDonald's, it tasted like McDonald's.
Okay.
And we got a McFlurry. They don't mix it. They just dump it on top.
Oh, bummer.
The same thing happened in Finland.
Did they not know that that's what you're supposed to do? No one teach them?
When I only ate... I only ate at places that had touch screens, so I didn't have to order. even though
Oh, yeah.
everyone in Helsinki speaks English because they know nobody can speak Finnish.
Yeah.
But
So
I was
why would you do that?
I'm just embarrassed. I don't, even in Greece, I know everyone's speaking English and they don't care, especially when you go to the islands, because their whole reason for existence these days is, tourism. They want people to feel comfortable and make it easy for them. I already brought this up before. It just bothers me. I don't like not being able to speak another language, so I just kind of bumble and don't say anything at all. I try to avoid it. I didn't do it this time as much. I don't know why in Finland it really bothered me, even though I could have gone anywhere.
I like practicing.
Yeah, that you like practicing. You can do
Yeah.
voices and you can do accents. I can't do any of that shit. So
Ευχαριστώ.
I find
Παρακαλώ.
languages difficult.
Yeah.
I even looked up how to say thank you, and then I forgot immediately.
Ευχαριστώ.
Yeah, immediately.
They say παρακαλώ. That means you're welcome. If you go into a room, you say γεια σας. That's like for more than one person, though, I think.
Yeah, there's an embarrassment too. It's like, I know I sound like a fucking idiot trying to speak your language.
But don't you think, but you don't have that judgment when someone comes into your world trying to speak your language and they're not very good at it?
I don't know. Speak for yourself.
You're like, you fucking loser.
No. No, you're right. That's a good point. It's a very astute point.
Yeah, you want to help. You're like, oh, you can't speak it. But it is, I guess, different in a tourist area because I sometimes think there's probably a push and pull with someone who lives in a touristy area because it's like, this is the only way that I can make money. And this is the important time of year that I can make money. And so many tourists are annoying. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's tough. I get where that would be kind of hard. It's like I need them, but I'm annoyed by them.
Well, apparently a lot of them are nasty. Talking to George, he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you guys are pretty nice. Where are you from?" And then he finds out we're from New York. He's like, "Oh, I'm like, shocked that we're nice, assuming that we should be nasty."
Oh,
Maybe this is a game, another game of his, but I don't know. He seemed to get a bit sincere. He's like, "I don't know. A lot of people just are rude."
wait, who are you talking about? George
Yeah, the
from the show?
car rental guy.
Oh, George. Oh, sorry, I'm not on a first name basis with George.
Yeah, the car rental guy. Which blows my mind. If I go to someone else's country, I'm going to be polite. Like, I
know
like,
people are jerks.
This is your place. I'm here. I'm visiting.
You watched 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, I know. People go there and there's this whole idea of service.
Y'all don't have a Walmart? What the fuck?
There's this whole idea of service and how people should be treated when I'm traveling and spending my money, I should be pampered.
Right.
I was like, yeah, there's a level that you can pay so you can be pampered. Like, that's the whole point of a 5-star hotel. It's not really that the room itself gets much nicer. It's, the level of service here. You're going to have the bellboy immediately grab your luggage and the rooms are all that shit. And I don't really care about that. I maintain that there's a level of service that should happen, like just in general. It's like, yeah, I'm here and I need help with things. And if you're at a restaurant, it's like, this is the way this works. You got to get me my food. If I could go to the kitchen and get it myself, I would, but I can't. So, you've set it up this way.
So we have to play this game together.
Yeah. So come on, let's do it. But in general, I don't know what people expect. Like, you should be so grateful I'm here visiting your island. You'd be nothing without it. What did you have before tourism? Oh, mining? You were mining your island for the limestone? The pumice?
Mining?
I think it was pumice. You had donkeys. That was apparently a thing. Like, they just had a bunch of mules.
Well, that's so that they can get around and people don't have to walk.
Yeah. I mean,
the mountains and stuff.
That's the one thing. By the end, 4 nights, I think, is enough. I know why people jump around to the different islands now, because once you've seen it, you've kind of seen it. And as a person who's not so into restaurants, it's like, I don't need to try every fucking restaurant here. So 4 nights seems like enough. And by the end, it's like, fuck these hills and fuck these stairs. You leave your hotel, and if you go left, you're going uphill first. And when you come home, you get to go downhill. If you go right, you're going downhill first, and you have to come uphill when you come home. But
yeah, wow. Yeah.
It's like, fuck. It's a lot.
What did you eat there?
It's McDonald's.
What else?
There was well, they gave us breakfast every morning. They brought it to the room, which was nice.
Oh, that's fancy.
And it's olives and yogurt and what you'd expect in Greece, some eggs with
Weird eggs.
peppers. Yeah, the eggs
Uh-huh.
were a little weird. They were scrambled, but they're always just a little bit different. They still tasted
Uh-huh.
good. You know, basket of bread.
Uh-huh.
They put it right outside the door, which was outside. And there was one day Christina went on a boat ride, a catamaran ride with her friends. I didn't go on that. I don't really like boats. I get sick. It was also the morning after the this had nothing to do with it, but it was the morning after the earthquake. Like it was a 6.2 magnitude
Oh.
earthquake one
Uh-huh.
morning.
Yeah.
And then there were tsunami warnings and like, all right, enjoy your boat ride today.
Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised that I guess it's probably the safest place to be, honestly.
I mean, it depends on what kind of tsunami, but yeah, if it's one of those that doesn't look like much, it's not like a giant wave tsunami, I guess. Yeah.
Well, even so, it's like it doesn't. You would just go over it.
If it's one of those like building size tsunamis, you're done.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be though. I mean, they would say they would be like, "It's fine, we go."
I mean, I nobody seemed fazed by the earthquake, and there didn't seem to be any damage, and it became apparent to me when the big one hits how much of this is going to survive. And then I started reading into the building, and a lot of people like to burrow into the cliffs themselves.
Okay.
It creates like a cool, nice atmosphere. I guess in the winter it actually is insulating, so it's warm, and in the summer it stays cool.
It's nice
because of the rock. You know, it's porous rock. But
the pumice.
Yeah, but when people do that, they undermine the integrity of the buildings above them.
Oh, yeah.
So there are building codes, but I think it's easier to get away with not building to code.
Of course.
Which seems like a weird thing. If you're going to build on the side of a cliff, you probably want to make it as sturdy and up to code as possible. But yeah, a lot of those buildings, like we can't really say how many were built to code and how many weren't. It's like, okay. Anytime I go to a place that has earthquakes, I just think, I just hope the big one doesn't hit while I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, it probably won't.
When I was in
probably wouldn't.
I was in San Francisco last summer, and I was the top floor of the hotel, which wasn't super high, but I don't know, it was like 28 floors or something. And everyone says, oh, the buildings are built to withstand the earthquakes. And I do know the taller buildings and the newer structures are actually built, but still a little unsettling. It's like, I'm at the very top here. If this thing hits, what's going to happen?
mean, I get it. I mean, I think it's in one way silly to think about. Like, it's probably not going to be when you're there. Like, we're not that special. You know what I mean? Like, everybody always thinks like, not everybody. Humanity seems to think like, oh, this is when it'll happen during my lifetime or during my trip, you know? But, you know, it won't. But then at the same time, I will never go to Yellowstone or whatever because it's the caldera.
I'm never
going there.
You'll never go.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that self-centered. I think the principle you're talking about is like, oh, if I don't go to the party's not going to be a good party. And the person hosting it's going to be so disappointed. They're going to be so sad. They're not going to be able to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, Mother Nature doesn't. It's just it could happen while you're there. Sure, the chances that it does are very low, but you know they say the same thing about flying. It's like the odds are so low, and yes, they are. But those planes that crash, there are people on them.
Yeah.
So tell them.
They also thought like it wasn't going to be them because there are so many flights it's like, but then there they are.
Yeah, tell them
crash position.
Tell their families. But the odds, you know, it's still the safest means of transportation.
Okay.
I know that there's an outsized, you know, fear we put on it because one, it's out of our control. We aren't flying the plane, and they're just so violent, and the disaster is much bigger than like a car crash. Like a plane crash.
What's awful too, I think what's intimidating is the amount of time that you get to be afraid. You know, it's not like bam and you're dead. Or even like, or something, bam, and you're dead. It's like, oh my God, they're doing this. Oh my God, it's happening. Everybody's oh man. You have like a long time to be afraid.
Yeah, unless it's an explosion. Or
even then, it's like, oh no, there's an explosion, and then it's like, what do we do? The people are.
I don't know.
There's still time.
No, to me, an explosion is like the whole thing blows up.
Oh, well, how would that happen? I'm saying like if like an engine blew up for some weird reason.
I'm talking about an actual explosion.
Oh, you mean like someone bombed it?
Yeah, well, like it's awful that the helicopter collision outside of DC.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know it's hard to see in those videos. It's kind of in the distance.
Yeah.
But it seems like when they collided, like everything just kind of blew up at once. Not that everyone died, probably not, until they crashed into the water below. That was pretty quick. But no, what you're saying in general, yes. Like the Germanwings incident where the guy locked the pilot out of the cockpit and just slowly took the plane.
Ugh, awful.
While the rest of the people watched the pilot frantically try to break back in with an axe and couldn't get in.
God, they have an axe on board?
I guess.
Whoa.
Yeah, where do they hide it? That's the question.
Yeah, where's that axe?
I was watching the flight attendants and even some of the other pilots because the flight home was so long, 11 hours. You have to have shift changes.
Oh, yeah. Do they go somewhere and like sleep?
Right where we were sitting, there's a door that remains locked, but then they come up and open it and then they go down the stairs.
That's so cool.
I know. I wanted
They have like little bunk beds and stuff down there.
Yeah. I have this idea that's so glamorous. I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, sure it's not.
Like there's no windows down there. So it's all artificial lighting.
Just like, it's like being in the bathroom but there's a bed in there.
Yeah. But still, yeah, it was cool. I like the idea of just being a flight attendant and doing my shift and dealing with the people. I want another drink. Give me another ginger ale. And then you're like, fuck this. I'm going downstairs.
Can I have the whole can?
It was next to a toilet, though, and the number of people on the door.
Oh, yeah.
On the door down to the crew's quarters, there's the red circle with the white slash through it, and it says, do not enter. Nowhere on it does it imply it's a toilet. The number of people, because we were sitting so close in the exit row, like at a bulkhead, and we had all this space. It was great. But that aside, watching these people trying to get in and like looking at it and confused and apparently reading the sign, but that not being enough, and then trying to open the door again. It blows my mind. It's like, what the fuck? Are you this dumb?
So you were sitting next to the toilets? Like it was right there?
Yeah, this was the thing. When the exit row seats opened up, I was like, man, the exit row, 11 hours, bulkhead, it's going to be a lot of room. Like there was so much room. It was the kind of bulkhead where the attendant sits across from you, but you have to stare at each other during takeoff and landing.
Sure.
But there was a lot of room.
Did you have the TV in the armrest?
Yeah.
Thing? Oh, okay.
But I did a lot of research. I was like, yeah, but it's near the toilets. How bad is this?
Yeah.
It's near. It really wasn't that bad, and it was enough space. But I watched YouTube. I looked up YouTube's the type of planes, and then Delta specifically to get their layout. And there's always, because you can get access to everything, and everyone's a fucking nerd. There are people who record it. Like, here's the tour of the Airbus 330 Delta layout, transatlantic flight, and it was helpful. I got to see the seats. Like, all right, I think it's fine.
Okay.
You run the risk, but is the legroom worth the toilet? In this instance, yes, it was.
It was. Okay.
I don't want to be shoved into one of those seats.
Was there anybody stinky?
That was my main concern. Is I knew people were going to start gathering, and then people fucking farting and stuff.
Yeah.
But no one really gathered.
Or just like lingering smells.
Yeah, when I was flying once, close to the bathroom, somebody, I don't know what they let rip in there.
Yeah, it blows up.
But the stench flew out the door, and it was rancid. I think some people take pride in that. They like, yeah, I did that.
Gross. Guess who those people are? Men.
Sure. There's some weird power.
Not all men. Lots of men.
Some weird power trip. It's like, yeah, I made that smell, and you are subject to it now. And there's nothing you can do.
What a dick. Disgusting.
I know sometimes you can't. Now we're back. It came full circle.
We did.
We started.
You barely told me about Greece. What did you eat?
Oh yeah, what the I can't remember the name of the place now. Yogi's.
Did you have moussaka?
Yogi's. There was we were at a gas station, and I was getting.
Okay.
I was just checking out, and we were buying the Lay's.
The ketchup ones?
No, not the ketchup.
I like the ketchup ones.
What's the creamy dill Greek sauce? Tzatziki.
Oh, tzatziki?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had some tzatziki flavored chips, and then the guy
Yum.
says, "Have you had the real thing yet?" And I wanted to say, "Dude, I live in New York. I have real Greek food all the fucking time." But I said, "No, not yet." And then he told us, and he's like, "You need to try this fast food place." And it's not really
What?
fast. It wasn't really fast food. I guess it's fast food because it's like a counter. It's not a sit down restaurant.
Uh-huh.
But there was a couple locations. I think it was called Yogi's.
Okay.
I think. Let me look. Yogi, Greece.
Yogi.
But it was like different meats in not quite a pita. I don't know. It was
Okay.
like a wrap thing, but it was very good. What the fuck was the name of that place?
Oh, no.
God damn it.
It doesn't matter the name. What was in it?
Oh yeah, there were the gyros, which I know is not how you pronounce it.
Uh-huh.
What is it? Gyro?
Gyro.
Yeah. I like gyro.
Because I think it's like the reason why people say ja, right, is because that y sound is such like a hard y, so it sounds like y, like it borders on j, but really it's gyro.
Gyroscope. That's what it makes me think of.
Gyroscope.
Oh, and they put French fries in it. Oh, this person doesn't like it. I think that the lamb is too salty.
Oh well, bitch. Okay then.
No, so the breakfast was delivered. You asked me about food, and you know my feelings on food. I don't know. Food is something that
that's
I have
true.
to just do
All
and
right.
get out of the way. But I enjoyed it. And then we went to, then there was the wedding night, and that was a several course meal that was very good, to the point where it was too much food. I was like, "Ugh, can't eat anymore, but I don't want to waste this, so I'm going to
Yeah.
continue to eat." And then, we went to a restaurant and got more Greek stuff. I got some
Did you have like feta and tomatoes and cucumber and olives and meats and like what'd you have?
Yeah, there were meats. I ate plenty of olives.
I don't like olives.
I didn't like olives for a while, and then one day I decided, what the fuck, just try it. I was like, salt.
Yeah, I don't like the salt.
What is it about
I
olives?
review olives all the time. Olives are too salty.
What is it about olives that you don't like?
They're too salty. It's like eating a salt bomb. It's gross.
Well, Christina doesn't like them either.
Yeah, bleh.
She says
They were all over Spain too. It's like here's some like really greasy meat, which I'm not complaining, and then a little thing of olives. Ugh, no, thank you.
Yeah, there's different types of olives, obviously, but I guess the fleshiness too is the texture, which again, there's varying textures, but
Yeah,
people
I
don't
like
seem to like that. But
I
I
don't
eat
like
plenty.
tapenade. It's an olive. Ow.
I don't really like tomatoes. I'll eat them, but I prefer not to. I had some tomatoes on one of the things there. I tasted it. It was good. Tasted better than regular tomato. It was a
Did you have moussaka?
what is that?
Moussaka.
What is that again?
It's like eggplant, I think, and it's like a lasagna, but not with cheese, like potato or something.
No, I didn't.
It's pretty good.
I stayed away from that. I'm not a big fan of eggplant either.
I'm pretty sure it's eggplant. Moussaka.
No, you're right. It's a Greek beef and eggplant lasagna.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, it looks
there
pretty
is
good.
cheese on top, maybe.
I'd eat it.
It is good.
No, I just ate the meats. Everything was like, give me the kebab, give me the kofta kebab and a chicken kebab, and what is this? This one's pork. I don't know.
Okay.
And comes with the tzatziki sauce and comes with a Greek salad.
I love tzatziki. I'm gonna go after this and get mezza.
You should do it. I'm glad that I inspired you.
I
like
Greek
Mediterranean food.
Yeah, me too.
I should do a whole series where I review foods. Like, I don't know. I don't really like eating.
Yeah, it's like a food reviewer from someone who doesn't really care that much about food.
Yeah, you really put me on the spot. It's like I can't get too excited about food.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. My bad.
I don't mind you asking. I just feel as though I let you down in my response.
I'm pretty disappointed.
I wasn't able to there was no inspiration behind what I was.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, the mouth feel and the chew and the palate. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I've always felt this way about food. I was like, I don't get me wrong. There's foods that I like and I can enjoy eating, but for the most part, it's like, it's a thing I have to do. And then you add on the culture of everyone doing like overdoing it. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, melting. The food is so good.
Was there anybody else like? Is Christina into food?
Sometimes I worry that she would like to go out more and
Yeah,
eat more things,
eat more things.
and
Does she?
and because I'm like, whatever. And I mean, she's an adult who can make her own decisions, and she could go out and do it if she wanted.
Uh-huh.
But in my mind, my irrational mind's like, maybe I'm holding her back. I have that much power. It goes back to the thing.
Well, I mean, if your partner's not into something you're into, it's like they're the only one who's like dragging you along. Like, come eat, please.
I also
guess.
I get really stressed picking restaurants too, because other people do have such strong. This is how it all ties in together.
Uh-huh.
Other people have
Yeah.
such strong opinions about food. I'm like, I don't know. Just pick a place. I'll find something there that I'll eat. I'm not going to complain about it unless the price is insane, or if there's a group of 10 of us and you ask for individual bills. Then, but that's
Or if
besides
your
the point.
girlfriend wants to order shrimp
that was
flip out on her.
That was a different thing. That was that.
Who was that with?
That was Christina too. That was a different
that's
thing
right, that's
because it was chicken and rice, $9, shrimp and rice, $18. The price discrepancy did not fucking make any sense. And
It's
I knew it was the kind. I know shrimp's more expensive, but that much more expensive. And it's like, if it's going to be that much more expensive, there better be at least 10 shrimp. And I guarantee there's going to be 4 shrimp. There's not going to be more than 4 shrimp. So this is a bullshit price discrepancy. And there's a man upstairs who runs this place watching a video feed of us. He's going to see you order that and he's going to fucking laugh because he's ripping you off. He's going to say,
did you have any seafood while you were there?
Fucking fool.
Did you have seafood? I feel like it'd be a good place for seafood.
I don't like seafood. Well, there's certain types of seafood, but they have a lot of fish. I don't like fish.
Yeah.
It would be a good place for seafood. And that was, a lot of places had the seafood and they would bring out the full fish with the eye still in it and stuff.
Yeah. Fun. And people just like pull meat off of it.
Yeah, it's so gross.
I love it.
It's like a rotisserie chicken. The carcass is there. Worse,
Yum.
though.
Also, that's also good.
It is good. I get it. But the fish, it's worse. It's one step worse because its eyes are still there. Its face is still there. It's like it hasn't been.
That's true.
It's been, gutted. But outside of that, it's like, this is what it looked like when it was swimming around. Now rip into it.
I do feel bad when I see like groups of fish all together, like on ice. It's like, oh, they were swimming.
Well, they were too dumb. They didn't know anything.
I'm sure they still feel fear.
No, it was nice though. It was I early in the process because Christine had asked me a year ago, "Hey, my friends are getting married in Greece, 1 year from now. You want to go?"
Right.
I'm like, "Yeah, sure," because it's a year away.
Like, yeah, that sounds like an adventure. Let's go. I like doing things.
And then as it got closer, I went through this whole thing. I'm not saying that I'm right in this stuff, but I started getting caught on the fact that there's destinations. Like, who do these people think they are? Asking people to spend all this money. And then I got angry because in my mind, if it were reversed, I wouldn't have expected Christina to go. And maybe I wouldn't have even gone if it was a destination wedding. And like on some level, I didn't feel like I had that option. I was like, oh, now I have to go to this because if I'm going to be a good partner, I need to go. Like none of this was real. This was all shit in my head.
Yeah.
And I had to process these irrational feelings, which only made me angrier that I was having irrational feelings because I don't like feelings when they don't make sense. And like now I'm angry at myself for being angry about having to go on this thing. And why can't I just say, yeah, this will be nice? It's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to spend thousands of dollars because these people decided to get married elsewhere. And then they're having another wedding.
Don't you want that noise to stop?
I worked through it, and then I went and I
Okay.
had a nice time and I enjoyed it.
Okay. Good.
I-
But still, that's a lot of work that you have to do for yourself.
and I bargained. I said, I'm going to Greece, but I'm not going to the second wedding. But I still feel guilty about that too.
Well, and I think we talked about that on the show where it's like, it makes more sense to be like, yeah, I'll totally go to the second one. That's right here.
Yeah, but you know,
But it is a cool excuse to go to Greece.
I like to travel, so
Yeah.
why wouldn't I like to travel? I always get really anxious about travel leading up to it. Just not being at home and routine being disrupted. It's weird.
I get freaked out being far away from my kids.
Yeah, that's a reasonable thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're fine, right? But it's like, too far.
No, I understand that. But it was a good trip. I'm glad that I
Well,
went.
good. I'm glad you went too. Good job.
You know, there was
Good.
some level of stress. I know we'll wrap this up, but I had to, I have another trip coming up to Germany in a few weeks.
Oh, wow.
And like the amount of time I was taking off of work, I was stressed. It's like my manager approved it. So what the fuck? Is there some hidden thing where she's going to say, yes, you're allowed to go, and then secretly say, taking
And then
too
be
much
mad
time off? It's like, none of that's real.
Yeah.
But
Good
that
job. That's anxiety.
Yeah, that was another thing that was stressful about this trip. It's like, oh, then in a few weeks I have to take more time off. And then I try to do these things where I'm not taking as many days off. Like the travel day, I actually work, but it's like half work because I have to get ready to go. But then so my manager thinks I'm working, and am I going to get caught? Is some big thing going to, instead of just taking the fucking days off? All these games.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could maybe take just like a little whisper of some Zoloft or something.
Yeah,
Just to help soften that work. Make it easier.
Yeah. How was your trip to Greece?
I loved it.
What did you eat?
I had the things I remember eating that I loved was this really simple bowl of tomatoes and cucumber and feta.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like oil, right? And like bread and stuff.
But it's all very fresh.
Oh, so good. I had moussaka. I had like their weird beer. Like every country has their weird beer.
This was just normal beer, the beer I had. When you
Yeah,
say,
I mean, it is normal beer. It's just it's different, and I don't know what this is, and it's like thin, like Pilsner,
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Actually, I think it's
I
just
don't know.
Greek on the can anyway, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
That's right. It's got the weird letters. I was in a gift shop, and I was looking at something, and something happened where I knocked over a plate and broke it, and I had to buy it.
What did it cost?
I don't remember. It's like whatever it was, I had to pay for it.
Unbelievable.
But I wanted. Oh, I was like almost like embarrassed when we would go to the restaurants near like tourist attractions because it was the menu that had pictures and they had like English section, German section, and I was like, I want to go somewhere where the menu is not in English, but I won't know what to order. But I still wanted to like not be at the tourist place.
Totally.
Yeah.
Did you venture out? Get away from the tourist areas?
We did. The other part that was harder was it was me and Travis, and we were with his like academic advisor and his wife. And his wife was very American,
Mm-hmm.
and like, I don't know how old she was, but she seemed way older than she was. And I don't know. She like wanted more bread. Like she would ask the waiter, more bread.
Yeah, I wouldn't deal with it.
No, it was really tough. So like going to those places, like she could only eat certain things, right? So it was like, oh, can we get the chicken, but could you just like boil it? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. Just like she couldn't eat stuff. Like maybe she has some sort of like, I don't know, digestive issue or something. But it was just, I hated being around. hated it so much.
Yeah, I would hate that in any like a setting at home too.
Yeah.
And if you have real digestive problems, I can.
Yeah, that sucks.
Sorry, but don't go out to eat. Now, when you're traveling, what is your choice? If it does feel amplified when you're traveling, come on, don't do that here.
And
even if
they
you
were in
have
their-
to.
They might have been like in their like early 50s, and she was wearing like not denim pants, you know, like those like pants that old people wear.
Yeah.
That like look like they're jeans, but they're not, because they're not jeans, and they have like elastic waistband. And you know, she had like a short haircut. It was just like, bitch,
All your trips
you-
were tied to like there were always like academic people there, right? Wasn't the England
well,
trip
because
the same?
Travis, that was the only way. That was like the way to travel, was because all of his conferences are in cool places.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he went to a conference in, I guess it was Helsinki. Yeah, he went there. He went to Italy. I went to England with him, Hawaii, Greece, Spain.
It's kind of a trade-off. It's nice that you get to go, but yeah, the things
I spent a lot of time alone, which was kind of neat.
I love wandering around alone in places that I don't know. In
I was
general,
in Crete and I walked from our hotel down to like the town. And I think I was listening to, gosh, I might have downloaded podcasts of like the Regular Guys or something. I don't know if that's true or not. I remember thinking, oh, I'm listening to this thing that I listened to at home.
Adam
and I'm
Carolla's
in this
wife.
other country. Lynette. Something. I was listening to something. Anyway. But yeah, I walked around by myself and saw like the cruise ships and stuff. It was neat.
That's what I get the most out of. Now, when you go to an island, I know Crete's much bigger than Santorini, but you know, the island's built for tourism.
Yeah.
Driving around was cool because you go to the places that people don't really visit. You know, they all go to the same places when they come to the island.
Right.
But in general, I just love going when I go to cities, you know, getting on the train, getting off at a random stop and seeing what's there. And that's when I'll prefer to eat and things like that. Just finding something more casual.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. Like the areas that are touristy and you're like, all right, well, this is set up for tourists. And what's the point? If you're going to travel, I thought the point is well, there are many points. Like you can relax. I guess you go on trips where the whole point is to relax and kick back and whatever. But in general, if I'm going to travel internationally, I'd want to experience something different. And when they're set up to cater to what I'm used to.
Yeah. It's like,
really
well,
like
then
it.
why could just be at home?
Yeah.
Especially like you're in New York. It's like I could just go eat Greek food and it would be pretty authentic.
Yeah.
And if it's not, like I could definitely find one that is.
You know, and then there are subtle differences when you're there, like just even the way they prepare it. Like there's little things that I probably can't even articulate, but you know, but in general, yes, that does exist. I just don't know why people want to go places where it's like, all right, this feels like home. I'm comfortable. Isn't the whole point to get out of your comfort zone and experience something new?
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, it's like, do you really like traveling?
Once people go to the Dominican Republic and then go to a resort and never leave the resort.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're just going to go to a stolen beach. It's like the people who live there, they took it away from the people. You're not allowed on this beach. This is for people who
you can
come
work
visit.
here.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
Well, that's what I did. We did went our honeymoon to Dominican Republic.
I don't like resorts exist, and I do have that problem with them. But the people who never even leave, or if some people are like, it's dangerous if you leave. It's like, just fucking leave the resort.
Yeah.
Go into the town and see the people that aren't allowed to use the beach that you're frequenting every day.
Yeah, Travis and I in Dominican Republic went to a grocery store, like way outside.
It was so scary and dangerous.
It was fun.
It was so dangerous.
And I picked up this thing of like quail eggs, and I was like, "Whoa, it's so weird here." And then I started seeing them at my own grocery store, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." I was gonna say they're everywhere.
Like I hadn't noticed them before, I guess, in my own stores. You know, I was like, "Whoa, look at these little eggs."
And they were there the next time you went to the
Yep.
shop,
I was like,
right?
Oh, I'm okay. Never mind. Not as cool.
All right. Well, we did an hour 15.
Woo! That's good.
Hope the people listening are appreciative.
I'm sure they are. Fertig, everybody, for listening. Talk to you later. Goodbye.